this between these poles. Close her up, twist her up.
Wait, how do you... My brother and I have a rule that every year we go on a wilderness adventure somewhere in the world.
The real experts twist it before they screw it, and then when they screw it, it untwists. Every year for the past, I think, 6 or 7 years, more or less, my brother and I have gotten together at some far-flung location and done a multiple-day trek. Sometimes we snowshoe the Grand Canyon.
Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas and Happy New Year! We've made it!
We've fallen in icy rivers in Alaska and nearly died.
How do your feet feel?
That question doesn't even make sense. My feet, I don't feel my feet. We've been to the base camp of Mount Everest.
This is it! Everest Base Camp.
This year we're heading out into the Superstition Wilderness in Arizona, which we think is one of the few places in the US this December that's going to be warm and sunny.
I'm really, really hot.
One of my life dreams has always been to take a pack raft and pack raft across the wilderness. A pack raft is a small raft that can be deflated and put right into a backpack, which makes it so you can hike, paddle down a river, and then hike some more.
Our plan is to paddle the Salt River, make our way towards Canyon Lake, and then after that, we're gonna start hiking through the Superstition Mountains. We think the whole thing is gonna be beautiful. This is the first time we've ever done pack rafting.
Are you ready to go? Is this the start of our great adventure?
It is. I just wanna get in the water and start paddling. Really looking forward to doing something that we've just never done before and just see what it's like. Okay. I think it's great.
In general, lean against obstacles and in general, lean downstream. Okay, lesson 1, practice scouting. So I was gonna go down there to the right. You got it, no. Okay, you're going. Paddle, paddle, paddle. That was very enjoyable. I like this a lot so far.
More like hiking with your hands.
Garbage man, bring out your garbage. Bring out your garbage. It's really beautiful.
Phoenix is a city built in the middle of the desert. The recent American Southwest drought has been putting a lot of pressure on the water system here.
Many rocks ahead, no avoiding them.
Many rocks ahead.
The Upper Salt River is running at a very low water flow. That, combined with the looming global warming crisis, has led some scientists to believe that Phoenix is going to run out of water sometime, maybe in the next 10 years.
A lot of rocks. How's it going? I'm sorry, I'm gonna bump you.
There's a lot of rocks here.
Goodbye.
As we paddled the Salt River and saw it at such a low level, it really hits home when you're trying to scoot across rocks and you realize that in the future there could be less and less water in that river, and so we want to do it now while we still can.
Hey! Made it, I didn't die.
How was it?
It was pretty bony.
Pretty bony. Having fun here now, I'm going.
get in a defensive swimming position, you hold onto the boat. The first thing I see when I flip over is my Nalgene floating away, and I swim after it. You're not supposed to do that.
Fuck, it's cold.
Then I try to stand up in the rapid, also not supposed to do that. I'm doing absolutely everything wrong and I'm freezing and I'm just not thinking right. I hit a rock, didn't lean into it, my boat filled with water, thus flipping me over, and then I'm swimming in the Salt River, which is nearly as cold as any river I've been in Alaska. It was textbook terrible rafting. Like, it's the exact thing someone who's never done it before like me would do.
Are you okay? Are you freezing to death?
I mean, yeah.
Now that the excitement has died down a bit, it is freezing. It is so cold. Anytime you hit the smallest wave, it just splashes. It fills up the center of the packraft with water and you're just sitting in a ice bath.
Yeah, I like that one, except for the part where I got in the boat filled with water. Now I'm sitting in 100 gallons of water.
Your feet are freezing, your hands are freezing, and you can't go more than a mile without having to go to the side of the river, pour the water out of the raft, and keep going. My hands hurt, they're too cold. We thought we could get away without having spray decks and spray skirts, because we're not millionaires and those things are expensive. But it turns out, on a cold river, that's the stuff you need.
It has been, I don't know, close to 0 degrees last night. It is freezing. Everything we own is soaking wet. We built a fire to make it better, to dry everything, but still, we don't think that another day on the river is a good idea because it is so cold.
So we're going to modify the trip, hike on back to the car, and then see where we go from there. It's too cold, we don't have the right equipment. This is hugely disappointing because this is the pack rafting trip we've been dreaming of for a long time, and it's going completely wrong. We had the option of doing some hiking and getting rid of the rafts entirely, but I really got the itch for paddling.
We need to paddle due north and then eventually turn right when we see the river.
So we go out onto Canyon Lake instead.
I'm so happy we got these pack rafts. I can't believe how relaxing it is just to paddle on the flat water of Canyon Lake. And Brian seems to be just loving it also.
Sure is a nice day for pack rafting.
Now we're going upstream on the Salt River.
It looks like this is just a lake, but around that rock formation over there, the river continues going up. You just can't see it from this angle.
What do you see down there? So we're just turning around to head back when I look up and I see a flat rock, a huge flat rock. It's covered in cactus and brush, but I point up and I say, I think up there, if we can get up there, we can get this epic campsite in the canyon.
Yeah, I think maybe if we keep going around to the left here, we'll get to it somehow. Stuck my finger in a cactus. Everything in Arizona is very sharp.
Don't get cactus, that's the #1 rule.
Got really badly cactus. Okay, it's okay. Definitely potential for a campsite here. It's beautiful up here.
think we found a fine camping spot. When we finally get to the top, it is epic and beautiful, and we get to see the sunset from this amazing place in the canyon.
Where are we? What are we doing today?
Well, we are in... Oh, watch out, the tent's flying away. We are here in Canyon Lake, on a bluff well above the water, where we've sent up one of the most dramatic campsites we've ever been at. We are camped in the shadow of an enormous cactus, which did not fall on us during the night, which is, thank God it didn't, because that would be the worst thing ever. So today we'll be going back down the lake.
As we start paddling back toward the put-in on Canyon Lake, it becomes clear that the weather has taken a turn for the worse.
It's pretty rainy.
Yeah, my pants are already completely soaked through.
But at the same time, it feels like a great adventure, and we paddle as hard as we can against the wind into the rain, and we finally make it to the end of Canyon Lake.
So we get to shore and we are waterlogged, just head to toe soaked. We have to dry off these pants.
Drying. Your pants are now dry.
We're sitting here in a rental car between the paddling and the hiking leg of our trip, and we are trying to dry all of our clothing.
So we changed clothes, we realize it's New Year's Eve, so we get in the car and drive out looking for the best restaurant in the area, and we stumble upon the Mining Cap restaurant.
I'm eating baked beans and homemade bread and coleslaw in the middle of an Old West saloon, and I don't know how I got here because I was just paddling, but here I am.
Just had a piece of pineapple ham, it's delicious. We have an amazing spread, barbecue ribs, chicken with stuffing, prickly pear jam, and fresh bread. We've just got off several days of paddling, and this is exactly what we needed. It's delicious.
Colors run like stallions before the wings of night, as silent as the golden eagle's light. Just a pretty desert picture of an Arizona sunset, drawn in words and shaded with an old beat-up guitar. The wildest thing of all about an Arizona sunset is the majesty that lets us know how really small we are. It's the majesty that lets us know how really small we are.
We started our trek into the Superstition Wilderness, and immediately on the Boulder Canyon Trail we get this, boom, gorgeous vista.
Okay, so we're on the top of the mountain above Canyon Lake.
Next we take the Boulder Canyon down and down into actual LaBarge Canyon, which we've read is ankle-breaking terrain.
And we like ankle-breaking terrain.
We love it. It's the best kind of terrain. I'm so excited to be on the trail with my brother. We love these trips. I need them. It's healing. It heals me. I found my kingly throne from which I will rule all of Boulder Canyon Trail. Approach, I will adjudicate. We're at the entrance to the LaBarge Narrows. You can start to tell it's a canyon because of the echo. LaBarge Canyon!
Canyon.
Canyon, canyon!
Canyon. Canyon. Canyon.
Canyon, 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 canyon. Behind me is my favorite feature of the Arizona landscape, the Segura cactus. It's native only to Arizona and nearby areas of California and Mexico.
Brian is obsessed with these cactuses and he never stops talking about them ever.
They grow their first arm when they get to the age of about 75 to 100 years old. So this one behind me is clearly much older than that.
And every time we see one, he thinks it's better than the last one.
This one is the best one. It's clearly the best one.
And we're never gonna find the greatest one.
This way, there might be better cacti over here. Right. They're huge, they're emotive, they have arms. Some of them have 12 arms. They look like little guys. They seem like people to me. And there are so many of them.
So how cold was it last night?
Oh, it was freezing. Every single thing I'm surrounded by is covered in a frozen sheen of ice. Worst thing is having to go to the bathroom. At home, you just go to the bathroom. Oh, I have to go to the bathroom. I go to the bathroom. Here, you go to the bathroom and you just go out into the freezing cold night and you walk straight into a cactus and then you have to go to bed with spines in your eyes.
Here's my door. Here's the cactus. Very dangerous. Never do this. Hi guys. Oh Jesus. Oh. Ow. This thing has spikes that are, see, it's got caught and then I pulled away and it ripped into my skin. Ah. Oh shit.
Our #1 rule for hiking in the desert is do not get cactused.
Ow. Another pricker.
How did that happen?
Don't touch a cactus.
They're very sharp. I just jammed my leg into a prickly pear. They have these giant spines which look terrifying, but they are nothing compared to the tiny little devil hairs that stick you in 1,000 places when they hit you.
Here's our method for avoiding getting prickered in the desert.
Does it look like a cactus? If yes, definitely stay away from it. It's sharp. I think they're barbed on the ends. They just stick in there. It sucks. Does it not look like a cactus? Stay away from it. It's probably sharp too. Everything around here has thorns. It's all swollen and bumpy and a little bit numb, like there's some sort of weird poison in there. Oh, God, do not get cactused. It's all designed to destroy you. Everything out here. It's nature's way of saying, stay the hell away from me. Ah! Oh, jeez. This? I went straight into my toe. Definitely Weaver's Needle out there in the distance.
We're here on Dutchman's Trail and we're near Blacktop Mesa.
Behind me is Weaver's Needle, one of the best features of the whole hike. We hear there's snow ahead, up to 1 inch in some places as we get to Peralta, so we are looking forward to that.
And we've heard it's going to get down to 10 degrees Fahrenheit tonight, so we're going to be freezing our butts off.
This is so much more beautiful than I ever imagined.
I personally love building fires. Protects you from the cold winter night that we're having right now. And when you stare into it, you're getting a little sleepy at night after a long, long hike. It's very hypnotizing and sort of puts you into a straight stupor and lets you go sleepy into bed afterwards. Looking forward to that tonight.
This is our last night in the Superstition Wilderness. Brian built a great fire, and tomorrow morning we're going to get up and head out of here. But it's been a beautiful trip, and the scenery has just been stunning.
Sometimes these trips are more than we bargained for, and in this case, it is very true. Much colder, the rafting much harder, but spending time with my brother is always my favorite part of these trips.
Here we are in the boat.
We have a weird sense of humor that is inaccessible to most people, and so when we're by ourselves, we get to riff on that to infinity.
Freezing cold last night, so it took us a while to get going in the morning, but with some salted caramel, sea salt, salted caramel, sea salt.
Salted caramel, sea salaciously salted salinity with so much
caramel, salty,
saltiest sea salt caramel.
I'm disappointed that we didn't get to raft the entire Upper Salt River due to how cold it was, but I can't overstate how much this trip meant to me. Not only am I fulfilling a life goal of going on an epic pack rafting adventure, but I'm doing it with my brother.
Don't tell Hank, this is the best Sonora cactus so far. I mean, saguara.
It's just the same as all the others we've seen.
Don't tell. Where did he come from?
My favorite person in the world to spend time with, joke around with, and just battle the wilderness with.
Gonna write a song about an Arizona sunset.
When we started these hiking trips, it was about adventure and just the love of risk and challenging yourself physically. But as I get older, the anxiety of life becomes even more difficult to deal with, which means every time we go on these trips, it's even more important. It unwinds me, it makes me remember what's important, and I feel like I can deal with the trials of everyday life when I've recharged my batteries like this.
Sunset, like a strange and powerful presence is telling you goodnight as the last red razor cast upon old Superstition Mountains. One moment can last forever in that strange and holy light. There's a silence and the peace here that can take your breath away. The beauty of the land can't be denied.
This is the best Segura cactus. Don't tell my brother, he'll make fun of me.
That one sure is crazy, but we've seen lots of ones just as good as that one.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Not that great.
Just a pretty desert picture of an Arizona sunset, drawn in words and shaded with an old beat-up guitar.